The front door slammed so hard the hinges groaned. It was 2 p.m. on a normal Tuesday, and I was folding laundry when Marcus's footsteps thundered through the house. "Mom, where are you?" he shouted with a rage I hadn't heard since he was a teen. I stepped into the hallway. My 42-year-old son stood in the living room, face red, fists tight, his green eyes sharp with anger. "Why did Chloe call me crying saying you changed your card password? She was at the store and couldn't pay. You embarrassed her." I froze. 70 years of life had taught me to stay calm, but hearing my own son yell at me in my own home shook me. "Marcus, lower your voice," I said firmly. "Yes, I changed it. It's my card." "Yours?" he snapped. "We're family. You can't block us when we need something." He stepped closer, and for the first time ever, I felt fear. "It's my money," I repeated. "Selfish," he spat. "Chloe only buys things for the house." I knew that wasn't true. My statements showed hundreds spent on makeup, clothes, fancy restaurants, but I kept calm. "If you need something specific, ask me. But I won't leave my card open for anyone." "Anyone?" "She's your wife," he yelled. I sat in my old armchair, trying to steady my shaking hands. "Chloe is welcome here, but my credit card is not a family service." Marcus paced the room, sweating, furious. "You've helped everyone your whole life. Now your own family needs support and you're acting like a miser." That word cut deep. I had raised him alone, worked double shifts, paid for his college, helped him buy his apartment. "I won't let you speak to me like this," I told him. "Then explain why you changed the password overnight." "Because I saw expenses I never approved," I said, standing. "All of them were discussed with you." "No, they weren't." For the first time, he went silent. "Chloe told me she always asks you first." "She's lying," I said before I could stop myself. The air grew heavy. "I won't let you insult my wife." "I'm telling the truth." "You're being paranoid," he snapped. "Maybe someone else should handle your finances." His words hit me like lightning. My own son questioning my sanity. "I think you need to leave," I said. "I'm not leaving without the new password." "No. This is my house, Marcus. My decision." He stopped at the door, voice icy. "This isn't over. We'll talk when you're done with your tantrum." "It's not a tantrum. It's a boundary. You'll regret this," he warned. "Chloe's hurt. She might not want to see you again." "That's her choice." He shook his head. "Fine. Your decision, our consequences." The door slammed behind him. I stood trembling in the silence. 40 years of motherhood, and my son had screamed at me for protecting my own money. Chloe's voice soon blared from the answering machine. "Sylvia, I hope you're happy. Marcus is devastated. We're your family." The line clicked. I peeled potatoes just to keep my hands busy, replaying Marcus's cold eyes in my mind. This wasn't about a password, it was about control. About me finally saying no. For 30 years, my routine had been my anchor after Robert died: coffee at dawn, watering plants, keeping life orderly for Marcus and me. Our home had been filled with memories and kindness. I had always helped people, always been generous. Marcus had once been a good, respectful son. Everything changed when he met Chloe. The day he brought her home, he smiled like a young boy again. Chloe looked perfect, too perfect. Her handshake was polite but cold, her eyes assessing me. During dinner she praised my cooking and asked about our family, and I thought she might be a good daughter-in-law. I had no idea how wrong I was. The next few visits were just as pleasant. Chloe brought flowers, helped with dishes, and told stories about her boutique job. Marcus seemed happy, and that was all I cared about. Their wedding was small and elegant. I paid for half of it without being asked. Chloe chose everything, I just signed checks and smiled for pictures. For months, they continued their Sunday lunches, telling me about married life. The house felt alive again. Then the small favors began. "Sylvia, can you lend us $200? We're tight this month," Chloe asked sweetly. I gave it without hesitation. But Friday came with no repayment. Instead, they asked $300, then $500, always with new excuses. In 6 months, I had lent them nearly $5,000. When I brought it up, Marcus grew irritated. "Mom, why are you keeping track like this? We're family." Chloe smiled and offered her credit card as collateral, but I knew that wasn't the solution. A week later she called in a panic. Her card was blocked. She needed mine just for medicine. I lent her my card for one day. That night I saw the charges: $150 pharmacy, plus cosmetics, clothes, restaurants. The next day, she cried and apologized. "I'll pay you back tomorrow." But tomorrow never came. The requests never stopped. Every emergency involved my card, and every use ended in more unnecessary purchases. Soon my savings were disappearing. Marcus accused me of being petty, and their Sunday visits became nothing but money requests: better cars, nicer neighborhoods, new outfits. Everything was a hint for more financial help. One evening, I realized I was spending more than my retirement income. My savings were draining fast. I barely slept. For the first time in decades, my morning routine didn't calm me. The following months were torture: constant lies, endless emergencies, endless spending. Chloe would claim Marcus needed medicine, then spend $400 on clothes. When I confronted her, she always had some bizarre justification. Marcus stayed silent, letting her speak for them. Their demands grew heavier. "We need $500 for a wedding," Chloe insisted. Marcus added emotional guilt: "Mom, we're building a social reputation. My job depends on it." One Thursday, my bank called. "Mrs. Johnson, did you authorize a $1,200 charge at Tech World?" I hadn't. I blocked the card immediately. Minutes later, Chloe called from the grocery store, furious. "Sylvia, what did you do? My card is blocked." "It's my card," I told her. "And that $1,200 was unauthorized." She tried to deflect. "Marcus needed a new computer." "Why didn't you ask me?" "Because you always say no," she snapped. Their calls flooded my phone, but I ignored them. I spent the next hour reviewing statements from the last 6 months. In January I had $45,000. By June, $26,000 was gone. All of it spent on luxuries, designer clothes, perfumes, restaurants, trips. Not one true emergency. Then the front door opened. Marcus and Chloe walked in without knocking, as if my house already belonged to them. Marcus arrived looking tired rather than angry. "Mom, what happened with the card?" "I blocked it." "There were charges I didn't authorize," I said. Chloe crossed her arms on my sofa. "Sylvia, we discussed all those purchases. You just forget." I didn't forget. A $1,200 computer is something you ask permission for. She insisted she had told me. She hadn't, she'd asked for medicine. Marcus sighed and defended her, claiming emergencies change, and that the computer was a bargain. I stared at them, realizing how much they'd changed. "Marcus, that wasn't an emergency. It was luxury." "It's a work tool," he argued. "Your support is essential for us." "I've spent more than $25,000 on you," I said. Both froze. Neither wanted to see the bank statements. Instead, Marcus said blocking the card was humiliating, and Chloe called it the family card. The word stung. My money had somehow become shared property. "I want you both to leave," I said quietly. They left without yelling, just disappointment and entitlement hanging in the air. For 3 days, silence. No calls, no knocks. On Friday, I decided to face the truth. My $45,000 savings had dropped by more than half. I printed every statement from 2 years and categorized everything. Groceries, small restaurants, and then luxury after luxury. Jewelry, clothing, spas, electronics, perfumes. Thousands I never spent. I called the bank for a full report. After the call, I went to my lockbox and found something chilling, a photocopy of my credit card, front and back, with Chloe's handwriting, "For emergencies, see." My heart dropped. She had copied my card without my knowledge. Then she called. Sweet voice again. "Sylvia, what's your card security number? I want to buy something online." I felt cold. "Where is my card, Chloe?" "I have it, like always." "Didn't you tell me to keep it for emergencies?" I asked her to return it. She insisted on coming over. She arrived smiling, sat down like she owned the house, and placed my card in front of her. Before giving it back, she lectured me, said I didn't trust them, that I was acting paranoid because of my age, that I treated them like strangers. She claimed blocking the card would make life complicated because they'd have to bother me every time. "I can handle that," I said. She sighed dramatically, pretending to be hurt. "It's sad you now see me as a stranger after I treated you like a mother." "I see you as my son's wife," I told her. "My money is still mine." She left, pretending to be heartbroken. That night, I couldn't sleep. But when I looked again at the copied card, I realized the truth. I wasn't paranoid, I had been too trusting. On Monday, the bank's full report arrived. 5 pages of transactions. Purchases while I slept, in cities I never visited, and ATM withdrawals at 3 a.m. In the last 3 months alone, 6 withdrawals of $300 each. I called Marcus. "Marcus, someone used my card while I was sleeping." He brushed it off. "Mom, emergencies don't wait." "There were 6 nighttime ATM withdrawals," I said. He snapped. "We're not reporting every emergency to you like children." I tried to explain, but he hung up, then said they were coming over. While waiting, I continued studying the report and found something worse: 2 purchases at the same time in different places. 2 cards. 2 copies. My stomach turned. 40 minutes later, they entered my house using the emergency key I had given them years ago. "Mom, we have to talk," Marcus said. Chloe crossed her arms, no sweetness left. Only cold determination. "Sylvia, this has gone too far," she began. "Your suspicions, your accusations, your constant checking of expenses, it's not normal," Chloe said. "It's not normal to want to know how my own money is spent?" I asked. "It's not normal to treat your own family like scammers," Marcus added. I slid the bank report toward them. "Explain this." 2 purchases at the same time in different places. Marcus skimmed the pages. "Oh, that," Chloe said quickly. "I was at the restaurant, and Marcus was buying me a surprise gift. We used both cards so I wouldn't find out." "Both cards? Mine and yours?" "My card got blocked, so I used yours," Marcus said. The explanation felt too perfect. "How many copies of my card exist?" "Copies?" Chloe looked confused. I pulled out the photocopy I had found in my lockbox. Her handwriting was on it. "Oh, that. I made it months ago in case I lost the original. Just for emergencies." "Did you make more?" "No. Why would I?" "To make purchases in 2 places at once," I said. Marcus got angry. "Mom, stop. You're accusing us of fraud." "I just want answers." Chloe stepped closer, tears in her eyes. "Do you know how much it hurts that you think I'm a thief?" But this time, her tears didn't move me. "You're getting paranoid," Marcus said. "You're changing. You were generous before," Chloe added. "Now you're suspicious and stingy." "Stingy? After giving you $25,000? I spread the statements on the table. "Count it." They didn't even look. "We're not doing this," Marcus said. "These aren't debts or accounts. They're favors." Normal families don't hide card copies, I said. Chloe grabbed the photocopy and ripped it up. Happy now? How many more copies? None. Then explain the late-night withdrawals. We already did, Marcus snapped. Mom, you're destroying our family over money. I'm protecting myself. From us? Chloe said softly. Your money is safer with us than with you. People your age make mistakes. Mistakes like trusting you, I replied. Marcus sighed. Here's a proposal. Give us your card for 1 more month. If you're not happy, we'll stop using it forever. Chloe smiled. We'll prove you can trust us. It sounded reasonable, but their eyes told a different story. This wasn't a request. It was pressure. I need time to think, I said. Time to decide if you trust your own family, Marcus replied. Until then, we'll keep our distance. At the door, Chloe turned back. We're all you have. Without family, money means nothing. When they left, silence filled the house. Was I being paranoid or manipulated? A week passed without calls or visits. The silence felt peaceful at first, then like punishment. Was this their way of forcing me to give in? On Saturday, while cleaning, I found my old pearl necklace, Robert's gift on our 10th anniversary. For the strongest woman I know, he'd said. When had I forgotten that? I put on the necklace and went to the farmer's market. Mr. Garcia greeted me warmly. You look worried, Mrs. Johnson. Family troubles? And I've been spending uncontrollably for 2 years, I said. You know what? Forget it. Chloe was right. We'll look for other options. What options? He hung up. That night I couldn't sleep. What options did he mean? Monday morning, I found out. A young man in a suit knocked on my door. Mrs. Sylvia Johnson? I'm Mr. Roberts from Hayes & Associates. Your son has hired us to review your mental and financial capacity. The floor seemed to vanish under me. He claims you've shown paranoia, confusion, and erratic decisions. He is considering seeking guardianship over your finances. Guardianship? Yes. A judge could decide if you can manage your own money, or if someone else, like your son, should do it for you. I sat before my legs gave out. What do I do? Hire a lawyer. Get medical exams proving your mental capacity, and gather evidence showing you manage your finances responsibly. After he left, I was shaking. My own son wanted legal control of my money. That afternoon, I called my neighbor of 15 years, Alma. Elma, can you come over? I need advice. When she arrived, I told her everything, every loan, every unauthorized purchase, even the threat of guardianship. She listened quietly. Sylvia, they're manipulating you. And now that you're pushing back, they're escalating. You think it's manipulation? I'm certain. And you're not the first older woman this has happened to. What should I do? Fight. With every legal tool you have. What if I lose my son? She took my hands. You already lost the son you raised. The Marcus you have now is someone who wants your money. Protect yourself. Her words hurt, but they were freeing. Do you know a good lawyer? The best, Vincent Harris. He specializes in protecting older adults from financial abuse. The next morning we went to his office. Vincent was calm, sharp, and reassuring. Tell me everything, he said, taking notes. I explained it all. The unpaid loans, the credit card misuse, the unauthorized copies, the withdrawals, and the guardianship threat. Do you have documentation? Yes. All the bank statements and the report I got last week. Good. You never authorized them to use your card permanently or make copies? Never. He stopped writing. Mrs. Johnson, this is family financial abuse. It's a crime. And we can fight it. How common is this? Much more than people realize, especially with older women who have savings. He laid out the plan. Protect me from the guardianship case. Document the abuse. Recover my money. Prevent future access. How much will this cost? My fee is $3,000, but you stand to recover around $25,000. I signed the contract. Over the next week, his team gathered everything: security footage, online purchase IPs, every unauthorized transaction. What they found was worse than I imagined. Mrs. Johnson, he said during our next meeting, not only did they misuse your card, they opened fake credit accounts using your personal information. Fake credit accounts? I asked. Yes, Vincent said. 3 credit cards opened in your name, all sent to your son's address. Almost $15,000 in debt. My heart pounded. How is that possible? They had your personal information, SSN, birth date, bank details. With that, it's easy to open online credit. So I owe that money? Not necessarily. We'll dispute it as identity fraud, but we must act quickly. That afternoon, Vincent and I filed fraud reports with all 3 credit bureaus and submitted a criminal complaint for identity theft and financial abuse. What happens next? I asked. Your son will be notified. They'll likely try to negotiate. Don't agree to anything without me. He was right. Friday night, Marcus called. Mom, what did you do? His voice trembled. I protected myself, Marcus. We were served court papers. You're accusing us of fraud. Because you committed fraud. We didn't. We're your family. Everything we did was with your permission. No, it wasn't. You have to drop the charges. They'll ruin our lives. You already ruined mine. We'll pay everything back. Please. With what money? You owe me $25,000, plus $15,000 from those cards. Silence. How do you know about the cards? I hired a lawyer, Marcus. I finally looked into what you really did. He hesitated. Those cards, they were for emergencies. Chloe needed medical treatments. Medical treatments from clothing stores and fancy restaurants? He started crying. Please, Mom. We're your family. Don't destroy us over money. You destroyed me for money. Give me one more chance. You've had 2 years of chances. His tone suddenly hardened. Then this is war. If you don't drop the charges, we'll go forward with the guardianship lawsuit. We'll bring witnesses who'll say you're unstable. What witnesses? Neighbors. Shopkeepers. Anyone who's noticed your paranoia. My behavior isn't paranoia. It's protection. A judge will decide. He hung up. The next day, the real war began. Calls came nonstop: Marcus, Chloe, unknown numbers. Some begged, others threatened. Then came the visits: Marcus pounding on my door, yelling from the street, Chloe sending friends pretending to check on me. One afternoon, I overheard 3 women outside my house talking loudly. That's the lady accusing her own son of stealing. My grandmother acted like that before she. Their unfinished sentence said everything. They were spreading rumors that I was mentally unwell. I called Vincent. They're trying to build a case that you're incompetent, he said. Document everything. Record, photograph, write it all down. That night, someone keyed my car. Spray painted on the side in red, Crazy Miser. I called Elma, shaking. Sylvia, you can't stay there alone, she said. Come to my house. I won't be run out of my home. Then I'm staying with you. She slept on my sofa that night. Her presence comforted me, but it broke my heart that at 70, I needed protection from my own family. At 3 a.m., the phone rang. I hope you're happy, Chloe whispered, her voice muffled. Destroying a family for dirty money. Dirty money? You think we don't know where your husband got his savings? Ask the neighborhood about his late-night business. She hung up. My husband, Robert, had been an accountant for 20 years. No late-night business. No dirty money. They were even attacking his memory now. Elma, I whispered. This is going to get worse. I know, she said. But we'll face it together. For the first time in months, I didn't feel completely alone. But I knew desperation made people dangerous. The court hearing was set for a Tuesday in March. For 2 weeks, Vincent and his team prepared tirelessly: documents, testimony, forensic evidence, and something unexpected: other victims. Your case opened a broader investigation, Vincent explained. We found 3 similar cases in the last 2 years, families using the same tactics: slow financial abuse followed by guardianship lawsuits when the victim resists. On the morning of the hearing, I arrived with Vincent and Elma. Marcus and Chloe were already there, sitting with a young lawyer who kept shuffling papers. Marcus avoided my eyes. Chloe stared at me with pure coldness. The judge reviewed the files, and the hearing began. It lasted 3 long hours. Vincent presented everything with precision: the $25,000 in unauthorized charges, the 3 fraudulent credit cards, the late-night withdrawals, the copies of my card, all documented with dates, times, and locations. Marcus's lawyer argued I had verbally allowed it all, claiming age-related confusion. He even brought 2 people who claimed I had been acting strangely. But Vincent had prepared a far stronger case. He showed security camera footage of Chloe using my card while I was home, plus phone records proving I had been on my landline at the same time. Then my doctor, Dr. Rodriguez, my physician for 15 years, testified that my mental and neurological exams were completely normal and showed no decline at all. When the judge asked me to testify, my legs trembled, but my voice stayed firm. I explained how it started with small loans, how they took over my card, made copies without permission, and finally tried to take legal control of my finances when I defended myself. Did you ever authorize your son or his wife to open credit accounts in your name? The judge asked. Never, I said. I didn't even know those accounts existed. When Marcus testified, his story shifted over and over. First he insisted I'd given permission, then admitted some purchases were impulsive, and eventually confessed they had opened the credit accounts without telling me, but claimed it was for family needs. The judge cut him off. Mr. Johnson, opening credit using someone else's information without authorization is identity fraud, a federal crime. His decision was immediate. The guardianship lawsuit was rejected. Marcus and Chloe were ordered to repay the $25,000 with interest and cover legal fees. The fraudulent accounts were canceled and removed from my credit history. A 1-year restraining order was issued, allowing them to contact me only through lawyers. The evidence shows a clear pattern of family financial abuse, the judge said. Mrs. Johnson is fully competent, and her actions to protect her finances were justified. Outside the courtroom, Vincent explained that recovering the money would take a few months, but the court order forced them to start payments right away, or face contempt charges. That night I sat in my armchair with tea, looking at my blooming garden. My money was safe. My home was safe. My future was mine again. But the sadness was sharp. I had won, but I had lost my son, the son I once knew, the boy I raised. That version of Marcus no longer existed. 6 months later, life had found peace again. The court-ordered payments came on time and my savings slowly recovered. Vincent monitored everything and visited frequently. Over time, our conversations drifted beyond legal matters. He told me about being widowed, about his grown children, and his love for gardening. One afternoon he asked, "How do you get your bougainvillea to bloom like this?" "Patience," I said. "And care, like anything worth keeping." His visits became warmer, less formal. He brought coffee, books, little stories from his day. He made me feel valued, not for my money, but simply for being myself. One Sunday in October, over tea and cookies, he took my hand. "Sylvia, these months with you have been the happiest I've known since my wife passed. You've made me believe life can be beautiful again." And you've reminded me that good people still exist, I said. Does it sound foolish for a 62-year-old man to fall in love with his 70-year-old client? It sounds wonderful, I told him, feeling butterflies I hadn't felt in decades. 6 months later, we married in a small ceremony. Just me and Vincent, with Elma as my witness, his brother as his, and the judge who married us. Simple and perfect. He moved into my home, bringing his books, his plants, and a quiet joy that filled every corner. Together we turned Robert's old study into a shared library. Together we replanted the garden. And for the first time in years, I felt my life blooming again. Vincent and I settled into routines that brought us joy and comfort. In the afternoons, I would cook while he worked on cases, helping older adults who had been victims of family financial abuse. After my own experience, this had become his focus, and he took great satisfaction in protecting those in need. Every case I win is a victory for human dignity, he would tell me. 6 months after our marriage, Marcus tried to reach me. One afternoon, he called, his voice heavy with exhaustion and defeat. "Mom, I know I shouldn't be calling, but I need to tell you something," he said. "Marcus, you know you're not supposed to speak to me directly," I reminded him gently. "I just want to say I'm sorry. Chloe and I are getting divorced. She left with another man, taking everything we managed to save after the lawsuit. I'm left with no money, no wife, and no mother to follow her plans." A pang of maternal pain struck me, but I was no longer the same woman who had been manipulated for 2 years. "Marcus, I'm sorry you're going through this, but choices have consequences," I said calmly. "Can you ever forgive me?" "I've already forgiven you, son. But forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. And it certainly doesn't mean going back to how things were before. Perhaps in the future, we can have some kind of relationship, but only when you truly change, not just because you need money again." That was the last time we spoke. Later, I heard that Marcus had moved to another city, found a modest job, and was slowly trying to rebuild his life. A part of me, as a mother, still hoped that one day he would become the man I had once raised. But I refused to put my life on hold, waiting for someone else to change. Now, my life was full with Vincent. We traveled together, read together, and cared for our garden. We had visits from Vincent's children whenever they come to town, and together we'd built a life full of mutual respect, genuine affection, and the quiet joy of spending our later years with someone who truly values us. At 72, I realized that it's never too late to defend your dignity, to say no, or to start over. I had lost a lot, money, and even my only son, but I gained something far more precious, my freedom, my self-respect, and the chance to experience true love at an age I had never expected. Every morning, I wake up in my own house, with my money safe in my account, sharing my life with a man who loves me for who I am, not for what I have. That feeling of security, of control, and of being truly cherished is sweeter than I could have imagined. Life taught me an important lesson: sometimes, to gain everything, you have to be willing to lose what you thought was most important. Though I had fought hard for my money and my rights, the deeper victory was reclaiming my sense of self. I no longer waited for someone else to change or tried to put my life on hold for their redemption. I built a life around love, trust, and respect, elements that money alone can never buy. Every day now, I tend my garden, share quiet moments with Vincent, and welcome visits from his children. My life is simple, but it is mine, and that, more than anything, is a victory worth celebrating. If you enjoyed my story, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me which city you're listening from in the comments below. Your support means so much, and if you'd like to help me continue sharing stories like this, you can send a super thanks. I'm so grateful for every message, every comment, and every bit of encouragement. On the screen, you'll also find 2 other life stories I highly recommend. There's so much more waiting for you, so don't forget to subscribe. I can't wait to share the next story with you. "Maybe," I said. "I can't tell if I'm imagining things." He gave me a gentle smile. "At my age, I've learned one thing: when your instincts say something's wrong, trust them. A mother's instincts never lie." His words stayed with me the whole drive home. A mother's instincts never lie. That afternoon, while I was watering the begonias, my phone rang. It was Marcus. "Hi Mom, how are you?" "I'm fine, son." "What's going on?" He sounded serious. "Chloe and I talked, and maybe you were right to want more control over your money. Maybe we've been too careless." "I didn't expect that." "I'm glad to hear that, Marcus. So we want a different arrangement. Instead of using your card, we want you to give us a fixed monthly amount. An allowance." "An allowance?" "Yes. Something reasonable for our expenses. We were thinking, $1,500 a month. $1,500. $18,000 a year. Marcus, that's a lot. It's less than what we've been spending lately. This way you control the limit. Why do you need that much if you both work? Our salaries only cover the apartment and basic food. We need clothes for work, social commitments, and we're trying to grow professionally." "Then reduce your expenses," I said. He paused. "So you want us to live like we're poor?" "I want you to live within your means. Our means include a mother who can help us. I don't understand why you suddenly want us to struggle." "Because it's your life, Marcus. Not mine." His voice hardened. "If not $1,500, then how much? $1,000? "I don't know. I need time. We've been waiting a week, Mom."